Death By Dichotomy, and here are your hosts, Chuck and Zach.
Cool, let's do it again. Hi, I'm Zach.
I'm Chuck. Welcome to Death by Dichotomy.
Today's beer comes to us from New Belgium Brewing, 1554. It's a black lager. It's delicious. It is 21 IBUs, so very, very smooth, 5.6% alcohol. So it's a great sipping beer. It's a great drinking beer. I love this.
It's a delicious beer, very smooth, a nice, dark, rich flavor. Comes from Colorado. I have a brother there, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, Fort Collins Brewing. And there's a great story behind the name. The brewer went over to Belgium, got this recipe through looking through old recipes from that year, 1554.
1554 is a good year.
Yeah, it was the year you were born.
I don't get it.
Yeah. It was also the year our minimum wage was established, apparently.
Oh, boy. Here we go. So you know what? There are a lot of reputable economists, a lot of deep-thinking people who say there is just a minimum wage doesn't work, man.
Okay, so you are pro-poverty?
Well, that's not what I said. I said there are a lot of people.
No, see, that's it, man. There's just two choices. You either are for a decent living wage, upping the minimum wage, or you're pro-poverty.
So this has got to be our favorite fallacy here at Death by Dichotomy, because a false dichotomy is really setting up an argument where you've got one side that says this is what I'm thinking, and instead of addressing that, you say, well, here's this extreme opposite. And so if you're not for this, you must be for this extreme opposite. It really puts a person in a false position. It's a false choice. There's a few, I'm sure there's a few very rare instances, life and death, that are actual dichotomies where there is no in-betweeny. But there are a lot of choices out there when we talk to each other as human beings, not politicians, but as human beings. We got to learn to set aside these kind of tricks that try to manipulate each other, and instead use clear thinking and recognize there are a lot of ways to do a lot of things, and that it's not a moral imperative that it's either this way or this way. It's either good or bad. There's a lot of places in between.
We see that a ton in political discussions in the public forum, where you pit somebody as your enemy through creating these false dichotomies rather than having a discussion and realizing all the middle ground in between the two. And, you know, I'd really love for us as people to start thinking and recognizing that one in particular, because it comes up so much.
Especially now in this presidential campaign time, we all get wound up in that.
Yeah, so you got to separate your emotions and say, okay, disregard the extremes. What can we talk about in between the two of us?
Right.
Yep.
And in the meantime, keep thinking.
Keep drinking.